I've done the singing the last 4 times. I probably won't do it this time. So you can just intro it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 12
must be light
of The Lonely Boy House. You can't sing the same song. You have to change it.
I've not sung that song before.
Have you not?
No, that's If I Can Dream by Elvis Presley.
You've sung Elvis before though?
I sung Suspicious Minds, come on.
Oh, okay. And how does that one start?
We're caught in a trap.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Welcome back to episode 12 with Mr. Consistent and Mr. Consistenter.
We've actually done pretty well.
Yeah, we have.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. It's taken 9 months.
But we're in the swing of things now. Every 2 weeks works well.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we could do it every week?
No.
What about for the
What about if
patrons?
people gave us loads of money? We are floating around the idea of doing a patron.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. Where, if you don't know what Patreon is or how it works, basically, you get additional content for a price.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually like £5 a month.
I think so, something like that.
And we're floating around the idea of doing that.
Yeah.
Obviously, like as soon as you mention money or whatever, people are like, eh. But
they're turning into one of them bad guys.
yeah, but what we would do, or what we've thought about is we upload every 2 weeks on YouTube and Spotify, and then on Patreon we upload every week. So basically, you get 2 extra episodes a month. And then we were going to do a YouTube style video as well, like a Q&A or a say it or shot it or that type, like a 10-minute sit down video. So every month you'd get 2 extra podcasts and a YouTube video.
And maybe a TikTok thrown in there as well. Maybe not.
But yeah, we don't know. We're just thinking
We're
that
just floating
idea.
around the idea.
So let us know what you think.
Mm-hmm. But what's your Instagram, by the way? I need to follow you.
It's the worst segue I've ever heard in I need to follow you at LloydMatt. That's the worst segue. What's yours? I'll follow you back.
Matthew Ozy _
Okay.
How did we meet? What was we get asked this all the time.
How did we meet? So basically, where we grew up, there's a luxury bagel shop on 14th Street, right on the corner in Oxfordshire, and basically.
Right on the corner
of 14th Street. In Oxfordshire. It's called Bad Boy Bagels. And basically, we used to go there, like me and my gang, obviously. We'd go there Sunday mornings because you're hungover from like a party when you're 15 and stuff. So we go to Bad Boy Bagels. They just give you wham bagels the size of like a pizza. And me and the hoodlums would pull up in there. And obviously Matt and his gang would be there, having sweated all night playing Xbox on a Saturday night.
Whoa.
So you had the 2 sides of the spectrum. You had like the cool guys, and then you had like the not cool guys.
Oh, come on.
Having a bagel off. So, but then eventually I saw Matt was just slowly copying my drip. So every weekend I'd pull up and he'd be wearing what I wore the week before.
Oh, here we go.
So I came up to him and I just questioned him about it. And obviously things were about to get heated. But Bad Boy Bagels have got 2 security guards who obviously we know, Joey and Tim. And they told me, they were like, look, you're going to get barred. If you start a scrap in Bad Boy Bagel, you're going to get barred. So obviously the beef was squashed there and then. And I just changed gang. I leaped from one to the other, started playing Xbox on a Saturday night. And then we found out we went to the same school, in the same form, in the same class. Just happened to never see each other. And then we just started kicking it after that.
I thought you were going to say we just started kissing after that.
And then Bad Boy Bagel shut down.
Yeah, Bad Boy Bagel shut down.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Sad one.
That's how we met.
Mm-hmm. Any other way how we met?
No, that's the one true story. To go along with the 50 others that I've told.
I was also thinking the other day, were there any lessons where we sat next to each other in? I think it was just history, right?
Yeah, it was just history.
Just history. And then in form time? No, we were on the same table.
I sat next to Sammy.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were on the same table.
Yeah, because it was how the classroom was divided into 6 tables.
Yeah.
You were top middle.
No.
Yeah.
Not at the start.
Yeah, at the start.
No, most of it I was in the back,
the
furthest corner.
Year 9, year 11.
I actually can't really remember. All I remember is being in the very back corner, and it was a table of 4, and it was me and Sammy facing forward, and then 2 people on the sides, Jack, I think. Not the
Jack
Viners,
and Jack.
but But I don't think we sat next to each other in anything.
No. History was... I remember there was one thing that we always used to say that would just crack me up.
What was it?
Do you remember what it was? I can't say because there's like...
A backstory to it.
A backstory to it, yeah.
No, I can't remember. Can you not say anything about it?
It was like... basically, someone that we knew had a name that sounded like something else.
Okay.
And you used to say that their name sounded like a shop.
No, why can't I remember?
And it would be like, oh, you'd walk in this shop and you'd come back out a second later. Oh, it's actually jokes. But when I was like year 9, it used to crack me up so much. I always used to look forward to it because we'd have Miss Knowles.
Yeah.
And she, at the start, wasn't a fan of me.
Okay.
But whenever I used to laugh, she used to just tell me to shut up. And I just knew that it'd be hard to keep that laughter.
Were many teachers fans of you? How many did you get along with?
No.
You don't have to name them, but...
The first day of DT, all the design teachers came out and was like, just stood. I remember, you used to queue outside a block. They used to, like, all three of them. So, and the other one. They just looked at me and was like, not another one.
Oh, because your brothers.
Yeah, one of my brothers was a little shit, even though he was good at that sort of stuff. And then the other one was clueless and like broke a really expensive machine.
Really?
Yeah, so he got in like a lot of shit. And they were just like, oh, another one.
I find it weird that you had to queue up to go into a classroom.
But it's discipline. It's control.
Yeah, it's weird though. Because it's sixth form, you just wander in.
I feel like in any lesson, even in year 9 and shit, like, you didn't queue. It was only year 7 and shit.
No.
Surely.
No, ICT you had to queue.
Yeah, because the computers were expensive.
DT you had to queue. The rest you just walked in, I think. Did you?
I actually can't remember. I just remember being at French and German and just looking outside and just seeing everyone kick ball. And it just looked so fun.
French and German is so...
pointless.
Yeah,
Why don't we get it like... It's pointless, and I don't want to be mean either. Who's learning French?
Loads of people are learning
Who's learning French when it's not in school?
They should give you...
Who's learning
a
French?
choice. I don't know. Learning a language is like good for you or whatever.
How many countries in the world speak French? 6.
Nah, loads, I reckon.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of African countries that speak French, to be fair.
But they should have given us the option of Spanish.
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Yeah, I think most people would choose that.
Isn't Spanish like the second language of the world? English is the first, and Spanish is the second, right? Am I right? Guys, comments in the
I have no idea.
down in the comments.
I have no idea. It is weird that English, our language, is...
Ours.
Yeah, like we're English. It's like the main... Like everyone needs it. Like other people always try and learn English.
Yeah.
Because it's used in so many situations. I can't imagine speaking a language.
I always find it weird how like films and just the industry, the entertainment industry is like predominantly English. Like imagine if it was a language that we didn't understand.
That's what I was going to say. I can't imagine living in a country where like you're the only country that speaks that language.
Yeah.
And then you leave.
Is there a country that does that?
Yeah, there's probably loads that only speak the one language. Loads of Africans, the dialect in African countries is like
changes
individual to...
Yeah. God, we're getting intelligent nowadays.
No, we're not. Not after last week.
Hella intellectual.
It was a biology class last week. No, it's geography.
No, it's geography. Is your geography good?
It's okay. It's not great, actually.
It's only because of FIFA mine's alright.
Yeah.
I feel like I was proper interested in it when I was young.
I mean, last night, your flag knowledge was... Honestly,
it was close.
It was terrible.
No, when Lithuania popped up, I said the other two that were next to it because I knew it was one of them. I said Estonia and Latvia. Yeah. But I forgot what the other one was.
Yeah.
And then I thought the other one was Sri Lanka, but I was way off.
So you've just explained why your geography was
bad
last night.
I got the other ones right. Sri Lanka.
You didn't get the other one right.
What, Lithuania?
No, there was one which was black, red, and green. And that was Afghanistan.
Yeah, I thought that one was Sri Lanka, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about like sediments and rocks and water and...
Yeah, see, that's not real geography in my eyes.
That was the boring part of geography.
That was the boring part. But yeah, I feel like... Have you seen like they don't get taught geography in America?
Don't they?
They don't get taught geography.
I've seen so many clips of them just being terrible. They
literally... Like I saw Nauk boys were going to Russia. You might have to bleep that better. And they were they got a map out and they were like, point to Russia, even though it's the biggest country on earth. They couldn't point to it. Like one of them pointed to China, which is like fair enough because it's like kind of close, but still you don't know where Russia is. One of them pointed to like Dubai. I was like, here it is, and I'm literally just like, bruh, come on now.
They're Canadian though. They're not even American.
Yeah, same thing. I'm joking.
Canadians will hate you.
Yeah, take that back. Sorry.
That was Scottish. That was not remotely Canadian. That was so bad.
A miss. Go on then. What you got for me?
First times.
First times.
Do you remember your first alcoholic party?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Jolly Boatman.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't drink at any party.
Okay, but like, okay, what was the first party that you went to that was alcoholic, but for everyone else? Was it the one in year 10?
What? Beginning with Al in Oxford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was your first one.
And where someone got spat in the face.
Yeah.
There was one. There was one before that. I'm pretty sure.
There was loads before that. That was in sixth form.
Look, I only got invited to one. Every
Really?
Saturday I was playing Xbox. All right.
And then go to Bad Boy Bagel.
Yeah. No, I only went to twice,
Okay.
and one of them just reminds me of you. The day before, you were in the classroom and you were like on the smart board at lunch. You were like, "Guys, you got to listen to this song." You start playing Magic. I went, "Why you gotta be so rude?" And you were like there, like a DJ, like.
That was a banger, to be fair. I
And
found
I
that
just-
early doors.
And I remember because that was like the first alcoholic party. Everyone was like, "Yo, why aren't you drinking? Like, why?" And I was too embarrassed to be like, I actually don't drink." I was like, "Yeah, I got a long drive to Cornwall in the morning." I did, by the way, but that doesn't mean
You weren't driving.
Yeah, I wasn't driving.
You're 15.
I was like, "Yeah, just getting up like so early. Don't want to be hungover." At the age of 16.
Why didn't you want to drink?
I don't know. I don't know. I was
Scared?
yeah, a little bit.
Of?
Yeah. I just didn't like. I don't know. First time, and how other people always acted around alcohol. I just didn't want to be that guy.
I remember one time there was a party, and someone pretended to give this girl vodka,
And it was water.
and then to see how she acted,
Oh, no.
and she acted like fucked, and it was water the whole time.
That's fucking
So bad.
How old was she? 16? 17?
17, like it was
17.
sixth form.
Oh no.
That's
Was she in our year?
yeah.
Who was it?
I'm not gonna out her, but she was going around like tripping over, like falling on the floor,
Fucking hell.
like trying to get with people.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Getting drunk off that water.
yeah. It's a placebo.
I felt like I went to a few parties where I didn't drink. I just didn't do it.
Talk about the party when you did drink then for the first time. You
Well,
were 17.
I remember it was at a pub. Someone hired out at a pub. I'm pretty sure it was. And my old mate Paddy NG just was like, "Oh, let's have tequila," and I was like, "Why not? Like literally, why not?" And and I did it. And I remember my first one was tequila, and it felt fine. But if I was to have tequila now, I'd throw up.
Were you doing shots or just drinking?
Shots.
Really?
Yeah, I could do shots when I was young, but if I do shots now, I'd die. I reckon I'd throw up.
You can't even physically do them though.
Can't. It's the same feeling I get when having paracetamol and stuff. So it's probably just fear, you know.
It's all in your head.
Yeah, it literally
Shots are
is.
so good.
But I also remember my first time, like one of my first times drinking. Maybe even like the second time was going to Bridge for Connor's birthday.
That was the next thing I was gonna say. First time clubbing.
Yeah, it was.
Jesus.
Sorry, guys. You can cut that.
No.
It was when I remember you and had
You're
fake
just
IDs.
name dropping everyone so much.
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry,
It's fine.
sorry.
Yeah, my first time clubbing was with a fake ID.
Yeah, and I remember we all got in, and I remember you and just like looking at each other, like grabbing each other, like we got in, and I just remember being like, "Whoa, this is Bridge, this is shit."
No, everyone loved it at the start.
Bridge is I like. I mean, the
No.
last time we went was pretty bad, to be fair.
Terrible.
But the problem I have with clubs is that they let too many people in. They're trying to make like a profit, a big margin. So they just end up inviting everyone. And then everyone's just walking around. There's no dancing or anything. It's just walking. But bridge, I like bridge because it's the smoking area. Don't smoke, but it's nice to talk to people in it.
How would you moderate that though? With what you'd have like a maximum, and they'd have to do the clicky thing.
Yeah, like an actual maximum capacity. Because when there's an event on at bridge, it is packed. It's literally like shoulder to shoulder everywhere you go, queuing up for a drink. I remember in the summer, we went and it took us like half an hour, 40 minutes to get a drink.
Why did we go?
I have no idea. I really didn't want to go as well.
You dragged me there. I reckon we've been twice in the last
to bridge
4 years.
We went. Did we go? We went once when we saw. We just went, me and you, right?
Yeah, that was the time.
That was
We just sat in the smoking area.
That was it. It was a bank holiday and like there was just no one there.
Yeah, and then the time before that was with Rue when we had queued for an hour and then ran.
Oh, because of the guy in the queue.
Yeah, who scared everyone. But we've been twice in the last probably 4 years, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we were 18, we'd go every Monday.
Oh, literally every Monday and every Friday.
Yeah.
Well, we would go out on a Friday or a Saturday, and then we'll go out on a Monday and have sixth form the next day.
But no, I didn't drink at clubs.
At clubs. Why?
I drink at parties. I don't know. I just drove.
Oh yeah,
I used to drive home from Monday Night Bridge.
I remember you actually doing that for a while.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just felt safer in public, I guess.
Yeah.
But at parties, I felt fine to drink because it was safe. Carry on.
No, don't worry.
What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, is that when you lived closer?
Yeah. Where I used to live before I was 18. What was your first time getting a detention?
Getting a detention?
Or sent out or like in trouble?
The thing is, like, I spoke about this the other day because at work they all said like, oh, I bet you were such a nerd at school.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
See, that's what I mean. Because I don't know. I literally don't know. Because I feel like I'm like currently teaching a few people at work how to use stuff, and they all think I'm like really good at it. But whereas it's just a case of me using it, and I've just known how to do stuff. And they were like, "Nah, you must have been a nerd at school." And I was like, "What? No, do I give that impression? Nothing wrong with that." But I was a little shit at school. Just used to speak and distract. I felt like there was a girl in our school, in our class, who we all know. I'm not going to name drop anymore. And she brought like loads of pens that were multicolored, and she used to like lay out her schoolwork in like the most beautiful fashion. And I was like, I want to do that one day. Yeah. So I went to Sainsbury's and bought loads of coloured pens, and it just looked shit. And I was like, how are you able to coordinate your work like that? But I was just if someone spoke to me in school, I'd just talk back. Like I could just talk for England. And I remember a few science teachers getting really just riled up because I just wouldn't shut up.
I reckon science is definitely the hardest lesson to teach.
Yeah,
because no one cares.
No one cares.
No one gives a fuck.
Everyone just fucks about. Literally, just. Do you remember?
Smash a Pain.
Smash a Pain.
What did he teach?
Yeah, science.
No, but like which one?
No, it was year 7, 8, so it was just science.
Okay.
Chair under, stand up. That's literally all he used to say.
Chair under, stand
like
up.
I remember there was a kid who was like the naughty boy in our year. Naughty boy.
Naughty boy.
And he just. He literally was like, I'm going to see how long it takes me to get the chair under stand up. And he literally, before he sat down, because it was just like a phrase he used to say, he'd walk in and just shout at the teacher. And as he pulled his chair, it was just like, chair under stand up. What? That is such a weird concept. Like, if you did something bad, you got told to stand up.
Yeah. And then sent out. Sent out makes sense, because if you're distracting other people... It makes sense.
Do you get sent out a lot?
Yeah, but I didn't figure out that I could get away with so much shit until like halfway through year 8, year 9. So year 7 I was like worried about.
The good boy.
Yeah. And then year 8 and 9 I realised I could get away with so much.
Yeah.
And then took it too far. No, I didn't take it too far. I was almost expelled twice. I didn't take it too far, but I was also
take it too far.
Almost expelled twice. Once in 6th form, once in year 9.
I got absolutely throttled once by my politics teacher.
You know what throttled means, right?
Yeah.
Like grab you by the throat?
Yeah.
He didn't throw you.
No, but that's like, do you know what I mean? And fuck me, it was funny as hell. I'm sure I've told you this before.
I don't know if you said it on the pod though.
Me, Patrick NG, and Guillaume Osmond were in politics together. And that already was just a joke because me and Guillaume used to pass each other notes just to make each other laugh. And we'd be sat there and we'd also be like, I'd leave him a note in the toilet that'd be like, check your chair for when he comes back. So I'd give him a note that says check the toilet. So when he goes to the toilet, it says check your chair. and when he comes back, it'd just be like, you cunt. And we just used to make each other laugh. But we got invited to do a SATs test for like analysis of can year 11s do 100% in SATs or sixth formers, sorry. And I was like, oh, it's at the same time as double politics. We don't need to tell him, do we? Like, he would tell us to go to politics. Like, we don't want to do that. So we just did the maths test. And it was jokes. And there's literally a gap of about a metre between the maths building and English block. And you could see the politics classroom. And we were like, he won't be looking. Let's just quickly run. And as we walk past this metre gap, he's literally looking out the window dead in the eye. And we were like, fuck. Like, what are we going to do? There's only 5 minutes left of the lesson. Do we just not go to the lesson? And as soon as we walk in the door and sit down and get our books out, he goes, Matt, Guillaume, Patrick, outside. And he just takes us outside and he just shouts at us like proper anger.
Thick Welsh accent.
Yeah. And Patrick just bursts out laughing. And I was like, okay, that takes the attention off me and Guillaume for a bit because he is getting fucked. Like proper bursts out laughing. And I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, but that was horrible. I think that was the last time I just spat everywhere.
It's fine.
I think that was the last time I proper got shouted at by a teacher.
That's probably because you haven't had teachers since then.
No, but I mean like work. And I feel like work are not like teachers because you're not a kid, so you treat like an adult. But I got shouted at work every now and then.
Where? BP. Oh, yeah. Oh, but that's like a dictatorship. That's a weird environment.
I did not like working there anymore. Considering it's like national heritage site or something, and it's like known all around the world and shit. They just treat like arse there. And then John Lewis, no one shouted at me there. I was king of the jungle there. I actually ran every single floor at John Lewis. I'm joking. I bet my colleagues are going to hear that snippet and they'll be like, what the fuck? But I did not say a word.
Didn't you wear a suit when no one else did?
No, everyone started wearing a suit. It was like you get told to wear a suit. And then there was this one guy who wore a t-shirt one day. And I was like, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Like if he's wearing a t-shirt, I'll wear a t-shirt. And then my dress code just got more lenient. And then there was one day where I just like rocked up in jeans and a tee. But yeah, I was so nervous to start that job.
Really?
So I threw up like 4 times before starting.
Really?
Yeah, I was so nervous.
It's because you've been locked up in your room playing Minecraft.
I never played Minecraft.
Fortnite.
Yeah, that was the Fortnite days. Yeah. I was so like, and I always used to have an excuse for everything. Like, oh no, I just had like Chinese the night before. It might have been like not cooked or whatever. And it was just like, no, you're just nervous. But yeah, I'm all good now.
Thanks for keeping us up to date with your medical.
I've recovered from throwing up like 6 years ago.
What's your worst hotel experience?
Worst hotel experience?
I can tell you mine whilst you think if you want.
Yeah,
mine was down here.
Down here?
So when I was younger, we used to go to Cornwall, and then one year we went to Bournemouth. I'm not sure why. You probably don't remember Sammy the Seahorse, do you?
No, yeah, I remember you saying about this.
I used to love Sammy the Seahorse. It was just like this toy, but then they did a live action. Like this guy would dress up as Sammy the Seahorse, and he was playing in Bournemouth, so we came down for the week. And I remember we got here. I have no idea where we stayed in comparison to now, but we got there and the pillows had blood on the underside of them. Like when we flipped them over, there was like patches of blood on them, and like the blow dry didn't work. The bathroom had like black mold. and we literally got there. I went in the pool, and then we left and went home.
Really?
And we were meant to be there for like a week, and we just left that day and just went home.
I mean, don't blame me. That's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't just change hotels. We just went home and got a refund. But that was the worst hotel experience of my life.
I mean, I haven't really stayed at that many. Like, obviously, there's the Bulgaria one. We all know what happened there.
For those of you who don't, Matt shit himself
badly
after having every meat under the sun.
And a couple weeks ago, it wasn't a bad hotel. It was just kind of like whatever. It was just like it was a work party, and I was staying in a room with someone I've never met before. I barely even spoke to. Like, he works in a different sector at work, and the room had no windows, and the vents weren't working, no aircon, and no windows. That already threw me off. And the beds were like, it was 2 single beds, so close together, and that was it. Like, that was the width of the room, like 2 single beds pushed next to each other. It was just a very very weird experience.
Why was there no windows?
Because it was like the rooms weren't on the outside of the building. There were rooms on the outside, but there was also rooms in the middle of the building as well. So that all the rooms in the middle of the building didn't have a window.
What did that look like? As in from the outside when you walk to find your room?
Well, the lift opened and the room was right opposite the lift. But the floor, the hallway went like a square around the rooms in the middle.
So you could walk either side?
Yeah, so there'd be, imagine a square.
Yeah.
There'd be rooms in the middle of the square and on the outside of the square. So the rooms in the middle of the square are obviously middle of the building.
And like 2 alleyways.
Yeah, and it was just a bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Sounds it.
And like the shower was tiny, bathroom was very small, and everything was like efficient. So there was no gaps or anything. It was just very like, I'm quite a tall guy, so it was just a bit like.
Would you ever live on a boat?
No. I saw on TikTok there's like a 19-year-old who literally just lives his life on a boat with his parents.
Called Finn
the fish.
Yeah.
Is that what they call him?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait, no, I don't know if that's true actually. Yeah, but he's got
with
like
the,
long...
With the glasses and like the moustache.
Oh, that's his brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his brother.
Okay,
Finn's... Okay. No, you might not know... That might not be Finn.
Okay.
I think I follow Finn. But he's in like Dubai, Egypt.
They go really nice places. Yeah.
And set up a hammock.
On the bottom of the boat.
Yeah. We've seen the same thing. They're brothers.
It scares me a little bit though, because when he's on the hammock and he's done like napping or whatever, he just goes into the sea, like just falls into the sea, and I'm like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, there could be sharks.
Scary.
There could be, or it just comes up like he's literally just hovering above the water. What if a shark
Fish
comes
can
up?
jump.
Yeah,
Fish can.
I don't know if a fish can kill
hop
you.
out the water. Yeah, fish can kill you.
What type of fish is going to kill you? Piranhas. Okay.
I've seen this a lot. When you were young, you thought piranhas would be like an everyday problem.
Yeah, I thought they'd be everywhere because of the film. Piranha 3D.
That was like way before that. Like even in cartoons and stuff, I just remember like people putting their hands in water and then having like a bone come out.
Where do they even live? Where do piranhas operate?
Amazon, South America.
Really?
Yeah.
That is never going to be an issue for us then in any way.
Literally, they don't. There's none in Europe. There might be some sort of Africa, but I doubt it. No, it would probably just be.
They've got to be in Australia.
You think?
Everything's in Australia.
Yeah,
everything's.
Would you move to Australia?
Maybe for a little bit.
I feel like spiders and that would be a problem.
Snakes. I fucking hate snakes so much.
I don't know why you hate snakes though. Like, what is it about snakes that you hate?
Just like them not having arms and legs.
They do. Well, they have a leg.
No, that's their body. That is not their legs. Snakes are not just legs. No,
but that is what they stand on.
Yeah, but they can stand on any part of it. That is not a leg. You are not saying that snakes are just legs walking around.
I did hear though that people get in the shower feet first.
How do snakes have sex?
Snakes have sex?
I don't know. Do they? How do they reproduce?
Yeah. Where do we get snakes? Can we get a snake up here? How much are snakes nowadays? Can we get one of them?
How do snakes actually have sex though?
Do they slither inside each other?
Ugh.
Like they go inside each other
and then come back out.
Release and then come back out.
How can they trust each other not to just eat each other?
That's You know, like laws of the universe,
They have
like
their
gravity and shit.
code.
It's impossible to eat.
A snake on snake crime.
Yeah, a snake on snake crime. Do not.
Do you reckon they fight? They must do.
Snakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But I've
Over
never
what
seen.
though? Eggs?
Yeah, and it's not going to be territory or anything, is it?
I remember when I was a kid, my mum was like addicted to like finding slow worms.
Okay.
Okay, just hear me out. So we would have like a sort of like a foresty area at the end of our garden where we would put all our garden trimmings for compost, and that's where they would all like live. So she would like lift it up and be like, "Oh, I've got one," and they'd be like this big. And then one day I was like playing in the forest or whatever, and she's like, "Look at the size of this slow worm," and she was holding like a snake like this big,
Like a grass snake.
Yeah, but what are the poisonous ones in this country called? A viper.
I don't know.
No, not a viper.
No.
Vipers are the ones with like the ears.
Yeah, it's not that.
No, that's a cobra.
Is it called a black...
Black Adam.
That's a superhero.
We're really intellectual.
Rattlesnake.
No, they don't. They're the ones that rattle.
What was that? That was not a rattle. Do you know the name Oliver sounds like a fart in the bathtub? I saw Greg James make a video about it.
Why?
Oliver.
Why the?
Yeah, that's sounding perfect when you just did it.
Why do farts smell?
No, we're not starting some weird topic.
They smell worse in the bath
Do they?
or the shower. And I'm like, is there like a chemical reaction between water and your fart that increases the? Also, where the fuck do you get helium from? Because I know it's up there. It's the height. It's at the top of the ozone layer, like the bit before the ozone layer. Does someone just go up there with like a bag
And just catch it and bring it back?
just put
I
it
don't
in?
know. How do they get a tank of it? That's why it's just a chemical. They could create it probably.
No, it's an element. You can't just create an element.
How do they get it then?
Or maybe you can create an
If you
element.
mix
But
other
I think,
elements.
I feel like with the periodic table, and then there's a separate table at the bottom.
Yeah.
I feel like they're the elements you can create. No, you can't create an element because that's a compound. Oh, I'm actually smart as fuck.
A compound element.
Fuck. No, my brother does all this shit, so I'm trying to channel his PhD. I don't know what the fuck.
Channel his PhD.
He's graduating uni after 11 years on February, so I can't wait to go home.
11-year course.
First doctor in the Mosley family.
Really?
Dr. Mosley. He's already got it on his bank card.
And last.
Prick. What do you mean?
Joking.
My kid's
Well,
gonna
maybe
be
maybe on your maybe your
kid's gonna be a
brother's kids,
doctor.
but doctor what? Disrespect.
No, my kid's gonna be a menace.
Yeah, you will.
Literally a menace. I'll teach him to like
Rob.
have fun.
Okay,
Just to have fun, like to be respectful, but to have fun. Just let it all hang out. What the fuck?
Your child's gonna be nude. Teach him how to rob.
To rob?
Just rob people, innit? Become a thief.
What are the first times you got?
Don't do that dance ever again. I've got first fight.
Never been in a fight.
Never. Not even like a little. Oh, I'm getting a bit shaky here. Might get beaten up.
No, I'd never have the feeling of being beaten up
Really?
because I'm always gonna win.
No, you're not.
I was in a fight with like in year like 3 or something. 2 people on me, knocked them both out.
Can't knock
No, I
out two
won.
women.
No, it was the 2 guys in my year, and I just remember like pushing one of them, and he like fell over, and I sort of pushed the other, but round like the neck face area, and I remember he like cried,
Yeah.
and since then I've just been like, yeah, shouldn't do that.
Guion got booted in the head in primary school, right? But he doesn't remember it.
What with a foot?
With someone's foot. We were playing British Bulldog on the artificial grass,
Mm-hmm.
and it got a bit heated. And then this kid 2 years below us, when Guion was laid down, just booted him in the head.
That must have hurt.
No, it looked like... Guion just got straight up and started beating him up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
fair enough.
but he doesn't remember it. And I don't know how he doesn't remember it. Maybe the kick
maybe the
knocked it. He just doesn't remember it because he got kicked in the head.
Did you have any like trauma experiences, like physical pain in primary school and that?
Fucking hell, is this a counselling session?
No, like did someone ever like hurt you or whatever?
I hurt myself. I thought I was going to die. Because
you broke your finger.
No, that was when I was 15. No, you know how when there's a bridge, like a small bridge that you just walk over, over like a ditch.
Yeah.
There's metal bars either side.
Yeah.
Like staggered, so you can go round them like that. So I was on my bike and I was gonna duck. I don't know why, but I had no brakes. But I forgot I had no brakes.
Right.
So I was gonna brake really last second and then turn and then go through them, and it just didn't brake, and I just hit my throat on the metal bar, probably like 15 miles an hour, and I like couldn't breathe. I was on my own, and I was near my house, but I literally was laying there like I couldn't breathe for like a good 20 seconds. I didn't take an inhale.
Really?
Like I thought I was gonna die. Genuinely.
That was it. Do you have a phone on you?
Yeah, I had my phone on me, but it was like a Sony Walkman or something. It was just the music specialist, so I was probably listening to N-Dubs or something when it happened. Nah.
Did you go to hospital?
No.
Nothing. You just got alpha
I
male.
Started crying, could barely breathe, walked home with my bike, embarrassed, pushing it in case anyone saw, and then just told my mum I just hit my throat, and she was like, okay.
I hit my throat pretty bad. Well, no, someone hit my throat really bad. We were getting taught hockey or something in PE, and
carry on.
Yeah.
No, I've got a different story that reminded me of. And
we were stood really close to each other, and I was second in line, and the first person to hit it, instead of just doing that, he went like that, and just hit me in the throat, knocked me back. I had to get to hospital for that because it was bad. Maybe that's where my throat addiction comes from.
Throat addiction.
Neck addiction.
Oh yeah, maybe. I almost died in year 8.
How?
I think I've told this. I don't know if I told it on the pod, but we were playing rounders with those tiny wooden bats.
Yeah.
And I was the keeper, like I stood behind, and the batter wasn't looking, and someone underarmed it to them, and because they weren't looking, I just jumped in front of them to catch the ball.
Yeah.
But they saw the ball like when it was halfway towards them and loaded up.
Ugh.
So and they started swinging, and I was like just jumping in front of them as they started swinging. So I literally had to like duck down to the ground. I just dropped to the ground as quickly as possible, and the bat just went just over my head, and that would have I would have died in year.
You probably,
I would have died. It's a wooden bat
to
my head at full swing, trying to hit a baseball as far as you can.
Yeah, that you'd have gone.
I'd have died in year 8.
Long gone.
That would have been mad. Imagine if someone just was there on the rounders field, just dead in year 8.
That is
terrifying.
Pretty traumatic, to be fair.
Yeah. I thought I was dead. I literally felt the bat go over the top of my head. Oh.
And that was when you were king of the jungle as well. So imagine
king of the
year 8. Imagine year 8 losing their alpha male.
They would have had to cancel the school year. Even if it was in September, they'd have had to cancel the rest of the school year.
Have you had any near-death experiences?
That one. I say that was the only I actually would have died from that. I think that's the only thing where I actually would have died. Cracked my head open, which I would have died if I just sat there, but there was an ambulance, so I was fine.
Right.
They just stitched it back together. But
when I was about 7, I had an asthma attack that was really bad.
Really?
And people have explained this online, and it's the exact same experience as me, which is I find this very weird that people feel this. So we were waiting for an ambulance, and I was in my dad's arms, and I just remember going to black, and I remember just being in my garden and walking to the window and just looking through the window and seeing my dad holding me and my brother and my mum screaming, crying because I just wasn't responding or anything. I remember seeing the paramedics come in, pick me up and take me to the ambulance, and I went from one window to the hallway window, and then I saw them take me to the ambulance, and then when the ambulance door shut, I was by the ambulance window looking in the whole journey, and then I sort of just faded to nothing, and I woke up, and it was I've said this to my mum and stuff, and she was like, yeah, that's what the ambulance people look like. How do you know that? And I was like, bro, I was looking at them. I was there, like a third person, just looking through the window. It was weird. and I remember it so well.
You sure you didn't like just
No, I
imagine that
no,
situation?
I said to the.
So you're saying you died?
Well, I'm not saying I died. I'm just saying, like, how could I see myself? How could I see what the paramedics look like?
It was just a really vivid dream.
It was very weird. I said to my mum, like, you were screaming. The paramedics came in, 2 women with long brown hair. One of them had a ponytail. And they were like, yeah, that was them. And I was like, I could see it the whole journey.
That's so strange.
And it was weird. And then the other one, I'm pretty sure I've told on the pod, where I smacked my face on the floor.
Yeah.
And then I was spinning in a black room, and every now and then I'd see a white dot with a green thing going over my head. And I'm not even joking now. The white light was so appealing. Like, I was just moving towards it. Like, I wasn't walking towards it. I was just going towards.
You wanted to go towards it.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like I wanted to go towards it. It just felt like a warm, like, comforting place where I'm like, that just seems like the next explanation to go to.
So you're saying you've been to the afterlife twice?
Maybe. They're trying to get me. And then after that, like, I was probably 50 meters away from it, and I snapped out of it, and I just woke up in the biggest pool of blood with my face hanging off. So
hanging off, lovely.
Yeah.
What do you want him to comment?
Skid mark boxes.
No. What do you actually want
Lloyd's
him to
got his
comment?
washing, and there's some skidders.
No, there's not. Why do you always lie about things like that? What do you actually want him to comment?
White box.
White box. Okay, cool. Comment white box. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
Give it a like, subscribe, 5 stars on Spotify, and let us know if you would be interested in the weekly episodes idea.
In our TikTok, there's a link tree where you can leave us anonymous messages. If you want to leave us anonymous messages,
just do it.
Just do it. We can talk about it.
Yeah. But thank you for watching. See you later.
Peace.
Peace.